Hello, everyone, and welcome back to AP Human Geography with Mr. Elrod. We're continuing on with our discussion on the introduction to geography, and we are currently talking about the different themes of geography, and now we're on to the fourth theme, and this is the theme of place. Okay, so basically, this concept of place is going to be unique to every single place on the globe. And really, what it is a combination of things. It's when you take the combination of all really the human, the physical, the physical, the human attributes, or the cultural, as well as the cultural landscape and the way that people have shaped and interact with their environment, things like that, and then you combine them with those physical attributes of the landscape. It's what's going to give that area a sense of what we call a sense of place, and the things that make that particular place unique. Uh, and place is one of those things that's it is going to be highly specific to not only the place but also the person that's experiencing that particular place. Each of us, as we enter into a place, we begin to develop a sense of that place, and we have certain feelings about that place. There are certain things that we remember about that particular place, things that stick out to us. It helps us not only to understand ourselves and the way that we understand the way that we view place, but it also helps us to understand the things that are going to be emphasized in a particular place and what's going to be important to those particular people. So, again, it has a human element to it. So, this can be mainly it's the cultural side of things. So, whether it's the religion and the way that's going to impact the place, the language, whether it's the written language or the spoken language, the politics of an area, um, uh, or the artwork that's being done by people there. So really, again, really anything that when you think about people and the way that they either interact with each other, or the way that they express themselves, or the way that they interact with their space, that's going to be unique to every place. Doesn't matter where you've been. I mean, you think about any place that you've visited, the place that you live, it has its own unique, distinct culture and community and things like that. But then of course, there's the physical environment and the role that that's going to play, whether it's the climate, the terrain itself, the natural resources that are available. And you think about the way that those interact, especially in a historical sense, the way that the physical environment would have impacted things like the artwork, or it would have impacted something like the dress or the type of housing that people are living in. Some people might even say it ends up impacting their religion. And so you think about the way that all those things come together, and we'll talk about this in the culture. But think about all the ways that these things come together, and they create a very special kind of experience for that particular place. I'm from the state of Georgia, and I'm from the northern portion of Georgia, and I have a certain affinity for green and the hills and the mountains and things like that. And my wife is actually from the coastal region of South Carolina, and I always tell her that the coastal region always just kind of depresses me because it's flat and it's hot and it's sandy and things like that, and all the roads go straight and there's no winding, turning roads. And so, I have a certain way that I feel about, even regions around where I live, and a lot of it has to do not necessarily with the culture, because the barbecue in South Carolina is great. It has more to do with the physical environment, the terrain, and things like that. So, again, the sense of place is something that can be highly personalized and really is special and unique, not only to the place itself, but also to the individuals that experience it. So, when you begin to consider and really reflect on those, you begin to understand a little bit more about yourself. You also begin to understand a little bit more about the place and the people, and the natural environment that is there. Okay, so that's it for our discussion on place. Next, we'll be moving on to movement.